What up, what up? It's Acevendo. Back with another topic, back with another video. So, the title of this video is going to be Stop Being a Victim and Get Money. I say again, stop being a victim and get money. So, admin notes. Thanks again to all the subscribers that have subscribed to my channel. I endeavor to keep pushing these videos out to give you leverage to better yourselves. So let's get into it. So why do I say stop being a victim or stop playing the victim? Stop running the victim Olympics, right? As Anton Daniels would say, and get money. So yesterday, Donald Trump sent a memo out to all the federal agencies out there to make up a plan of how they're going to start to downsize their agency, right? So, as I said before on this channel before, I work for a nonprofit here in DC, which is funded by a federal agency. So, it is official. The things that are going on here in DC right now, as far as all these cuts with the federal government, even though I'm not a federal worker, is more likely going to impact me, right? Now, I'm not saying it's going to impact me in a negative way, or I'm not sure. I don't know. You know, we've actually had some talks, me and my co-workers, my boss, a couple of folks are in charge. You know, so for the most part, we're pretty solid. But you know, who knows, right? With that memo coming out with the federal agencies having to, you know, figure out how to downsize their numbers. You know, I'm not exactly sure if that's going to affect like them funding other entities like we are. I'm not sure. You know what I'm saying? But here's what I'm not going to do, right? What I'm not going to do is sit here and play the victim and cry and holler and scream about the potential of me to lose my job, right? I'm not going to do that, right? Now, let's say, for Lord forbid, that I do wind up being negatively affected and I wind up being laid off, fired, whatever the case may be, right? So, you know, I said before that this happened to me before, right? Not as far as in the sense like the company was downsizing, but I've actually been let go from a job before. And, you know, I've put myself in a position now where my mental state is definitely solid. And if it happens, I've always been a hustler anyway, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, even when it happened to me, even though I was more apprehensive about doing certain things to make things meet, but you know, at the end of the day, I knew because of my skill set and what I've done in the workplace that I was going to get a job. There was no doubt about that, right? And, you know, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of folks out there that are in this situation right now where, like I said before, their skill set is not that great. And they sat around at these jobs, didn't do any extra training. You know, they didn't build themselves up, didn't get education. They're just doing the same thing over and over and over again. And, you know, I'm not saying that they're going to get cut or they have been cut because of that. But one thing I will say is that when you're actually in a job that pays a lot of money, especially when it's a corporate America, if you don't keep proving your worth over and over again, yo, it's not going to be a good look for you at all. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just eliminate, you know, Donald Trump actually sending that memo out. Or let's say he wasn't trying to downsize the company at all, right? If you're in corporate America or in the federal government, you should always be in a sense to where you're trying to keep yourself relevant, right? Because, you know, at the end of the day, anybody can come in and take your job. Anybody. So I'm not exactly sure, you know what I'm saying, why folks get into this space. But, you know, these folks that are lazy, these folks that have sat around for years on a job and didn't build themselves up, yo, it's about to be a rude awakening for y'all, yo. For real, I ain't even gonna front. It's about to be a rude awakening for y'all. Because, you know, these budget cuts where they're not only laying folks off and firing folks, but those positions are being eliminated. They're not coming back, right? The Republican Party wants to have a thinner government. They don't want a bloated government like it is right now, right? They don't want that. They want the government to be as thin as possible because they don't want the government interfering with the American people when it comes to certain policies and procedures. That's the way the Republicans like it, right? Versus the Democrats, want to have the government all in their business because they want to get free money and they want the government to take care of them. Now, I'm not saying all Democrats do this. I'm just saying, like, that's a generalization of how the Democratic Party works, right? They get votes because they're giving handouts. That's the reason why they let these damn borders open and let immigrants come in illegally, because they needed the votes, right? And I'm not saying anything bad about immigrants. I'm not saying anything about illegal immigrants come in or whatever, because at the end of the day, I feel their plight, because most illegal immigrants are leaving a situation that was horrible for them. And they come to America because they know that their life is going to be 10 times better than it was when they was in their country, right? So I totally get that. I'm not a person that's in a sense like want to see people suffer and want to, just shun people because they want a better life. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just giving you a synopsis for like how Democrats and Republicans work and how they think. And I'm telling you, y'all need to stop playing the victim. Especially guys, yo. If you're a guy watching this video and you got laid off of fire because of these things that are going on in DC right now, you cannot be in a situation to where you're playing the victim. You can't do that. That's not masculine, yo. It just is, you know what I'm saying? I preach about masculinity all the time on this channel. I'm telling you right now, you're playing a victim, you're not being masculine at all, right? You're just not. You got to get out there and get it. You got to make it happen, yo. You got to make it happen. You got to make it happen. Now, if you didn't put yourself in position to where you have savings, you have investments, you got a way to float, that's your problem. That's not anybody else's problem, right? So if you are in this situation, you definitely got to get off your ass and start getting it, right? Because this stuff is not playing, yo. It's not over. When I saw that email yesterday, not the email. When I saw that news article where they say they sent that memo out, yo, it's about to get real, yo. It's already been real, but it's about to get real. Because what they're saying is, whatever, is that they're letting the agencies decide who gets cut, right? They're not going reckless abandon and cutting people out. I'm not saying that's still not going to happen. I'm just saying, like, they're giving them a way to handle things on their own, right? And, these agencies, if they want to stay relevant, they're going to cut every single body they need to cut. Believe that. There's no getting around that. So, all I can say is that, if you feel like you may be one of these folks that are going to get cut, it might be too late, honestly. I ain't gonna front. I'm not saying it to scare y'all. I'm just saying, like, if you really feel like that you've been sitting on your hands this whole time and haven't brought value to that federal agency, and you feel like your work is just not, just hasn't been good, then yeah, it might be a wrap for y'all. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It is what it is. You had a job. If you felt like, and that you didn't do your job properly, then you being let go is your fault, right? But once again, the federal government had this culture where they thought that they could do whatever they want to do, and they can't get fired, right? And they just can just do the bare minimum to get by, right? All the yearly evaluations they have, they're barely passing the grade, they're barely passing the mark, but they're like, I'm a federal government worker, you know what I'm saying? Like, screw y'all, like. As long as I'm actually doing the bare minimum, you technically cannot fire me, right? Well, yeah, it's getting real, y'all. It's getting absolutely real. But you play the victim, and you're gonna be the victim, right? It's all about changing your mindset. It's all about being positive. It's all about making sure that you don't let the situation handle you. You gotta handle the situation. I'm gonna say that again. You can't let the situation handle you. You got to handle the situation, right? That's what men do. Now, as far as women that are out there, they're losing jobs as well. You can take this advice as well, because at the end of the day, if you have to work to take care of yourself and your family, then so be it. Let's do that. Let's get on it. I'm definitely not opposed to that at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm a very traditional man, right? So I don't believe in feminism. I don't believe in other things that women want to do in life. I'm not saying that they shouldn't do it. I'm just saying, like, when it comes to how I think, like, that's just not me, man. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to a job, honestly, like, I think a lot of women, not all, but I think a lot of women would benefit a lot more if they focus more on building a family and building legacy versus them trying to get $100,000, $200,000 out there in the workplace, and they're not bringing kids and family to society. Society needs families right now, yo. They do. But anyways, I'm not gonna belabor the topic, but drop some comments, conversation, let me know what y'all think. Stop playing the victim, yo. Stop playing the victim and get money, all right? So, you want me to discuss this topic or subject? Think it benefits your channel. Email me at acog757@gmail.com. My email address, subscription below. Say so G, signing out. I'm gone.